friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works workshop. And you're noticing a brand new view. Well, that's because from now on, this is going to be my permanent location for making videos on building and repairing musical instruments. Why the change, you ask? Well, this is not the only change. We've got a whole bunch of changes that have come to Rosa String Works. And the best change of all is a young lady named Melissa. Melissa, step in here. Say hi to the folks, Melissa.
Hello, everyone.
Melissa is my new office manager, and you talking about changing things around here. I am actually marching to the beat of a new drum, I'm telling you. She has got me so organized, I don't know which ends up. She catches on incredibly fast. She's going to be my new office manager, and she's been here about a week now, and in just 1 week I've seen everything change, and it's all for the better. She's a workaholic, just kind of like me. I think that between the two of us, we do the work of 5 or 6 people, I'm pretty sure. So things are really going good. I couldn't be happier. She's going to be handling all of the accounting for the business. She's going to be handling all the book work, all the computer work, and in addition, she's already edited 2 videos. And that's just in her first week, and so I'm very impressed. So thank you very much, Melissa.
You're welcome, sir.
You'll be seeing more of Melissa down the road, and I'm going to tell you about some more changes here. So the whole idea behind getting office help like that is to free me up from doing all of that type of work. I'm only one person, and I was seriously spending 30 hours a week doing all the stuff that Melissa's going to be doing. And I should have spent more hours than that on it, to be honest. You might think, well, why would a little tiny business have so much to do? Well, there's a lot to this business. You know, I've got all the website stuff. I'm constantly editing videos and working on that. There's enough paperwork to choke 5 horses. If you know anything about Uncle Sam and keeping your books, you would understand that. You know, I do have inventory, so I have to keep track of all that. It just goes on and on and on and on. Bills to pay, emails to answer, letters to write, you know, and so she really has taken on all of that. And it's just like the weight of the whole world has come off my shoulders. I can actually now work on instruments. And that's the sad truth. I just couldn't work on instruments because I had so much other stuff to do. So I am excited and beyond excited. Trust me, it's going to be great for not only me, but it's going to be great for you because you're going to get to see a lot more videos now, and things are just working out really, really well. I made a couple of short clip videos that we're going to insert in here now about making my new work table and workbench and stuff, and so you can kind of see a little bit of the before and a little bit of the after. I didn't shoot all of it, so this is just going to be kind of quick and dirty. Hope you enjoyed that. With all the changes that we're making here at Rosa String Works, I've decided that I need to make some changes to how I do my business, how I do my work. That office where we do the computer work is just too small for 2 people to work in. I mean, sort of you could get by, but you'd just be bumping each other all the time. And if I was recording, there would be noise in the background and vice versa. And, you know, so the bottom line is we need to split up. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm creating me a new work area out in the shop. And why I didn't do this a long time ago, I have no idea, because it really does make more sense. I spent a ton of time running from the office out here to these machines and back and forth, and I'm sure you guys noticed that on the videos as well. And I often had it cross my mind that I ought to do this. When you make a change like this and adding Melissa to the team, it makes you get off of square one and do these things. So here's where I'm at. I'm going to catch you up. I've already done a lot of work here in the background. I've just been to Menards this morning, a local box store, and I bought some melamine 3/4 inch plywood, particle board type plywood. I also bought some MDF below, and I've sandwiched them together with contact cement. And now I'm putting some trim on it, and I'm making a very long workbench. It's going to be 32 inches deep, which is just about the perfect depth for me. With my long arms, I can reach across it fairly easily. I don't know too many workbenches that get trimmed out in walnut, but this one will. I went up into the barn looking for some oak or something that I could trim the edges with. I wanted a hardwood on the edges. And I found this walnut, and it was, you know, marginal quality, but there was enough there to make some really nice trim. And I thought, this will be perfect. And so it's going to be beautiful. It's going to make a really nice edge around my table here. One of the reasons I need to put an edge on here is because, believe it or not, the table is about 8'1" and the melamine is just 8 feet. So, I mean, there was about an extra ½ inch on each end that I needed to cover anyway. And so by putting about a full 1 inch thick strip of walnut around, I'll more than cover the ends of this steel. And not that it would have mattered anyway, but why not? It's just going to be nice to have a nice walnut trim edge around the whole thing. And actually, I'm only going to put it on 3 sides because the back edge here will be against the wall, so I'm not worried about that. What I'm going to do is coat the back of this trim with glue and put it on this front edge. I don't think it's going to glue super well, but I'm going to also put some finish nails through this. In this case, because we're not working on instruments, I'm using Titebond Ultimate 3. This is waterproof and should be really good and very strong for this application. Now we need to make the pieces for the ends. Well, the table basically is finished. I don't have the top attached to the legs yet, or to the base. But, you know, and most people would use a round over bit on their router to round over these corners. I'm just going to use a block plane and just more or less 45 the corners. That's good enough for me. I'm happy with that. As long as it doesn't feel sharp to your touch, that's all that matters. In fact, I might even just tilt it and round it a little bit as I do it, and I think I will. So it's kind of a round over anyway. I've got some 220 sandpaper, and we're just going to lightly knock down this walnut. The walnut is planed. I was thinking about filling the nail holes, but I don't care that the nail holes show a little bit. You know, after all, it is a workbench. It's not that big a deal to me. You know, if it was going to go in my house, for sure I'd be filling the nail holes. I'm applying some linseed oil, boiled linseed oil, to the walnut around the edges. You know, all wood is enhanced, in my opinion, when you put the linseed oil on it. But there's nothing that looks much better than linseed oil on walnut. It just looks gorgeous. Well, now that I've got the table more or less finished, even though I don't have the top connected to the base, I'm going to go ahead and move it in place, butt it up against the wall real good, and then I'm just going to fasten down the tabletop up through the bottom with a couple of screws just to hold it in place so it doesn't slide around. Now that I have the table in place, as you can see, I'll have a wonderful view looking right out over the farm as I work, which is one of the reasons why I should have done this much earlier. It's just going to be much more pleasant working, looking out the window. There is an issue though. Part of the structure of the building, if you look in that corner, there is a post there, and that is a 6x6 post, and just the corner is exposed. So I will have to cut this tabletop out to go around that, because I do want it to fit flush back into the corner. You know, I could make some other option. I could put a strip of wood along the wall, or, you know, there's a lot of options. But I think for my purposes, I think I'm just going to cut the tabletop out right there, because it's going to stay here for the foreseeable future. Although someone down the road may go, I wonder why he cut the corner out of that table. But now you guys will know. I'd like to tell you that that went perfectly, but the truth is, it didn't. The building is not square, and I didn't take that into account. And when you slide it all the way into the corner, well, it leaves quite a gap over there. But you know, you probably can't see that gap from your house, so it's good enough. The only thing that really bothers is my OCD. Other than that, it's fine. And now we might just make us a little windowsill and a little window trim to go around this, just so that looks a little better too. First, here's just a broad look at the new workspace. You can see my table there, my light. I have the window to look out and see out over the field, which is just wonderful. Why I didn't set it up this way to begin with, I don't know. But better late than never, I guess. Now we'll take a little closer look at the wall and the different things there on the wall. But before we focus on the wall, why not just take a look and see my view? And I don't know if you can see the horses out in the field, but I'll try to zoom in and let you see that too. See, there's the horses out there. So it's a nice view. It's certainly better than looking at just tools on a wall. Here's a view of my tool wall, and of course the camera swings around and gets out of the way, and it extends out like this, and I can turn the camera around a lot of different directions. So that's how I do the camera. I may have shown that camera mount before, but that actually was a pop rivet gun, an extendable pop rivet gun from Grizzly, and I just converted it to a camera mount because it just seemed to be more perfect for that purpose, in my opinion. And then you can see that I have my same old carpet there, and the carpet is dirty, but there's nothing wrong with the carpet. That's just stains and things. Although I'll be getting a new piece of carpet very shortly, but the carpet is still very soft and pliable. There's nothing wrong with the carpet whatsoever. You can see more tools and things along this wall over here. Everything's within reach. The one thing I'm missing on this workbench is I don't have the ability to have a drawer, although I could rebuild a cabinet or something under there and put drawers in it, and maybe I'll do that down the road, but I doubt it. I do have some cabinet storage space under there, and there is just enough room to get my legs under the table when I'm working, so it works out fairly well. In terms of a close-up of my tool rack, here's what I've got on the wall. And everything is fairly easily reachable. My table is only 32 inches. I have long arms, so I should be able to reach everything fairly well. And there's really very little that could fall in that area, so that's kind of a consideration to make whenever you're going to work on instruments. Is you want to set your tools in a place where they don't have much ability to, fall off the rack and damage anything. If you know anything at all about setting up a workbench in your workspace, if you've ever done that, you'll know that you really almost never get it completely like you want it. Right now is a good starting point, but I'm sure over the next couple of weeks I'll be refining all of the details here. But it's a new and exciting way to work. I am more than excited about having Melissa here doing all that paperwork. She is a real go-getter, and it is just helping me immensely. Thank you very much for watching, and I know you're going to enjoy all these changes as we move forward.